Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 18th of November 2024 and the world is a much safer place with President Donald Trump being re-elected, isn't it? Now apart from that guys, the price of Bitcoin in the global cryptocurrency market has been pumping up pretty well as well. Bitcoin in particular is currently right now at $91,000 and who's to say guys over the next coming days, probably in a week's time or more it might actually cross the $100,000 mark. So definitely interesting times ahead. Now in today's episode guys, we do have some really interesting news. And the first one is regarding Dubai's VARA, which is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. And they want to enforce crypto compliance. And they have actually put out an official document guys. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take a deep dive into this particular document. Now look, so far as regulations are great. They are definitely needed so far as centralized entities are concerned, isn't it? But at the same time, it is so important to truly understand that regulation shouldn't stifle innovation as such. But regarding this news, guys, they are more focused on AML and CFT compliance. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into what are the requirements as well. Now regarding regulations, guys, we do have a contrasting view all the way from the Reserve Bank of Australia. And looks like the Governor of Australia is not a fan of Bitcoin. And she has rejected Bitcoin as a form of payment, even as a form of currency. But what is really interesting to note, guys, is she openly admitted that she truly does not understand what Bitcoin is as well. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this news. Now look, since the last few weeks, Solana has been making quite a lot of news, isn't it? And it has overtaken Binance BNB chain by a really long margin. And in today's episode, guys, we do have some really interesting news. And this is more connected to decentralized apps. And looks like they have some record-breaking fees. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. Now look, as me personally, I'm not a fan of Solana as such. But so far as the numbers are concerned, the numbers definitely seems to be way too good. And Radium in particular, guys, if you look at the 24-hour volume, today it has crossed the $4 billion mark as well. So I really am hoping that we do not find out any notorious activity, particularly to do with Radium. Now if you're someone who's an expert in Radium and Solana blockchain, definitely drop me an email and I definitely want to know more information regarding this. Now the final news, guys, is kind of connected to President Donald Trump, or his son to be precise, that is Eric Trump, and that is to do with World Liberty Finance Token. Now it's really important to understand that this particular token is just utilizing the name of President Donald Trump, because he's right now the most famous person in this planet, isn't it? But so far as the token is concerned, there is little to no involvement by President Donald Trump. Now regarding the news, guys, there is an official announcement put out by World Liberty Finance via Telegram that they have actually partnered with Chainlink. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about this. Now look, since the last 3 months, Chainlink has been making quite a lot of partnership. And I've been saying this since the last few weeks, guys. Chainlink CCIP, that is Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, it just might be a game changer for the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. So definitely keep an eye on what is going on regarding Chainlink CCIP. So in today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base on the news regarding World Liberty Token, partnering with Chainlink. So quite a lot of cover, guys, in today's episode. And like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news, guys, are connected to artificial intelligence. And the first news is regarding Dubai Police. And they are partnered with Kotra. And they launched Global Expo Tech Week. And the reason was to foster AI and tech collaboration. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. Now the second news, guys, is more to do with ISO certification and Visible Without an E. They have launched AI-driven compliance platform and looks like they want to revolutionize ISO certification. So definitely interesting news, isn't it? So quite a lot of cover, guys, in today's episode. Let's kick start with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 Ps. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the Statement of Corporate Social Responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform. Check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, if you look at the market sentiment, guys, right now it is at extreme greed, and the prices are definitely looking great, isn't it? But so far as the market cap of Ethereum is concerned, guys, it has marginally gone down, but so far as the price of Bitcoin and the market cap of Bitcoin in particular is concerned, the numbers are definitely looking great. Now, since the last 24 hours, guys, Hedera or H-bar, that has been pumped up by 30.81%, followed by Mantra, which I believe is connected to real-world asset tokenization, isn't it? That is up by 24.86%. And Akash Network, which is more connected to DeepIn, that is decentralized physical infrastructure, that has been up by 24.22% as well. Now, thankfully, guys, there is not a lot of NFTs or meme coins that has been pumping up the most, because usually what happens is whenever the price of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies pump up, usually it is the meme coins that pumps up by well over 40 or certain cases even 80%, isn't it? Now, if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, guys, Wirecoin market cap has crossed the $3 trillion mark, and today it is at $3.08 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.91%. Now, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, today it is at $153.53 billion. Now, it's really important to understand, guys, that I'm recording this podcast in the early hours of Dubai, and technically it is still Sunday in most of the Western countries. Now, keeping that thing in mind, guys, These numbers are absolutely phenomenal, to be honest. Never in the history of my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, the volume has crossed over the $100 billion mark, particularly on Sunday or early hours in Monday. Now, we all know the reason why the cryptocurrency market volume is pumping up, isn't it? It is because of President Donald Trump getting re-elected, and because the FOMC meeting is out, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell has decided to reduce the interest rate, isn't it? And at least till the next FOMC meeting, guys, I don't see anything stopping the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, unless there is any other external factors, probably like a nuclear war or a possible another assassination attempt on President Donald Trump. But other than that, guys, the numbers of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are definitely looking good, and I wouldn't be surprised if the price of Bitcoin touches the $100,000 mark, probably in the next coming days or probably in the next coming weeks. Now, so far as the volume is concerned, guys, despite it being at $153.53 billion, which is great over the weekend, since the last 24 hours it is still down by 14.97%. These are really crazy numbers, isn't it? But one metric, guys, which is definitely not improving, that is the volume in decentralized finance. And check this out, guys. Decentralized finance as of today is only accounting for 4.14% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at this 24-hour volume, guys, in terms of dollar amount, it is below the $10 billion mark. It is only at $9.73 billion. Now, so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is at $109.70 billion. And so far as the total value locked of decentralized finance is concerned, Lido is still dominating with $30.7 billion, and decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, guys, today it is at 38.23%. Now, one matrix, guys, according to me, which is a red flag, that is the volume of decentralized exchanges. And if you look at the 24-hour volume of Radium, guys, today it is at a staggering $4.05 billion, and since the last few weeks, guys, Radium has been consistently outperforming Uniswap, isn't it? I really am not sure what is going on, cause look, when you talk about Radium, guys, it is working only on Solana blockchain, but if you actually go to dappradar.com and check out what is going on in Radium, the number definitely does not seem to be making a lot of sense. Because look at the 24-hour volume in decentralized exchange shows that roughly around $4 billion, isn't it? But if you go to dappradar.com, guys, and if you look at the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets to decentralized app smart contract over a period of time, it is only showing as $213.47 billion. So really, I'm not sure what is going on regarding that, guys. Now, if you're someone who has more information regarding this, definitely go ahead and explain it to me. Now, the only matrix which makes sense to me, that is the number of unique active wallets interacting or performing transaction with decentralized smart contract over a period of time for Radium, and that number is showing as 3.55 million. Now look, guys, based on my understanding, what this actually states is that there are 3.55 million people using this smart contract, but if there are so many people using it, guys, the volume does not make a lot of sense, isn't it? So really, I'm not sure what is going on regarding Radium. Now, another matrix which is rating a red flag for me, that is Radium's total value of assets in decentralized smart contract. And surprisingly, guys, it is showing less than $500,000, $416,000 to be precise. Now, could it be possible that the numbers are not updated in DAppRadar? That is definitely a possibility as well. Now, ironically, guys, if you compare Radium's number on DAppRadar with Uniswap version 3, the numbers are completely different. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchange is concerned, Uniswap is at number 2, guys. And if you look at its 24-hour volume, it is at $1.52 billion. And if you actually go to dappradar.com, guys, there is a section which states the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets to decentralized app smart contract over a period of time, and over there it clearly shows $2.34 billion. And if you look at the unique active wallet interactions, guys, it actually shows 39,780, and that is the number of unique active wallets interacting or performing transaction with decentralized app smart contract over a period of time. So let me know, guys, why is there so much of anomaly between Radium and Uniswap? Now, based on my understanding, Uniswap's number looks spot on, but there is a very high possibility I might be missing some critical details regarding Radium. Now, the third one, guys, so far as decentralized exchange is concerned, is PancakeSwap, and its 24-hour volume is $1.30 billion. Orca is at number 4th. Its 24-hour volume is $909.79 million. Aerodrome, guys, is at number 5th, and its 24-hour volume is $712.68 million. Now let's quickly run through the volume of stable coins. This, to be honest, guys, on a weekend is definitely great, which just means over the next coming days and weeks, there is a very high possibility that these stable coins will eventually be converted, let's say, to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? It does not necessarily guarantee that, but generally speaking, guys, when the volume of stable coins is increasing, usually it means that people are parking a lot of the cryptocurrencies onto stable coins, isn't it? And so far as the 24-hour volume of stable coins is concerned, today it is at $138.76 billion, and stable coins, guys, as of today, is accounting for 90.38% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and it's needless to say, guys, that the USDT is leading the pack, and its 24-hour volume is $123.78 million, followed by Circle USDC at $7.74 billion, and FDUSD, guys, is at number 3rd, and its 24-hour volume is $6.39 billion. Now, if you look at the market cap, guys, Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.81 trillion, but the market cap of Ethereum has taken a massive hit, and it is down to $376 billion. Now, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $48.64 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is at $25.14 billion. Now, the dominance of Bitcoin, guys, is at 58.88%, but the dominance of Ethereum has gone down miserably, and it is down to 12.20%, and it's needless to say, guys, that a lot of activity is actually taking place in Solana, isn't it? And later on, guys, I'll go ahead and share some numbers where they're making record-breaking fees as well. Now, what I want to do next, guys, is I want to run through the NFT marketplaces, and I want to look at the percentage of the top 5 NFT marketplaces, guys. And surprisingly, OpenSea is at number 1, because since the last 9 months or so, guys, Blur has been consistently overtaking OpenSea, isn't it? But looks like after a very long time, a lot of people are actually using OpenSea. And if you look at it from a percentage point of view, OpenSea accounts for 31.69%. Blur, guys, is at number 2nd, and its account for 31.14%. Blur Aggregator is at number 3rd, and the market share accounts for 23.89%. At number 4th, guys, is CryptoPunk, and it accounts for 6.58%. And at number 5th is Gem, and it accounts for 3.41%. Now, guys, let's go ahead and look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin, as I mentioned earlier, is at $91,754. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.54%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 12.60%. Ethereum, guys, unfortunately has gone down, and today it is at $3,119. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is down by 1.02%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 1.16%. Solana, guys, looks like it is definitely picking up pace, isn't it? And the price of Sol is $243. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.93%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 15.45%, and it looks like it is overtaken by an SBNB chain by almost $30 billion, guys. This is definitely a massive improvement so far as the numbers of Solana is concerned. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, if there are any partnership announcements or any news regarding Binance BNB chain to go ahead and retake the number 3 position. Now let's go ahead and discuss a really interesting announcement that was done by Dubai's VARA, that is Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, and they have updated the list of high-risk jurisdictions subject to a call for action, and the list of jurisdictions under increased monitoring. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below there is the official document by Dubai's VARA. Definitely urge you guys to go ahead and read through it, because if you're someone who's working in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, you definitely need to be aware of these rules and regulations, isn't it? And the document for Dubai's VARA, guys, outlines a detailed framework designed to ensure the virtual asset service providers operate within a secure, compliant, and internationally aligned regulatory environment. So what I want to do is, guys, regarding this document, I want to go ahead and touch base on the purpose of the circulator, the key compliance obligations for virtual asset service providers. So I want to touch base on AML and CFT compliance, due diligence measures, updating risk management frameworks, and I also want to touch base on the focus of high-risk jurisdictions, the resources and regulatory support, and there is also a link to official FATF list, that is the Financial Action Task Force list, and also touch base on the compliance and risk management, and more importantly, guys, I want to go ahead and discuss why this matters for virtual asset service providers, and finally, what are the broader implications for the industry. Now, regarding the purpose of the circular, guys, it's really important to understand that the circular aims to maintain stability and reinforce Dubai's position as a global competitive hub for virtual assets. It highlights the regulatory expectations of virtual asset service providers in addressing financial crimes like money laundering, terrorism financing and activities by illegal organizations, and VARA's role, established under Dubai Law No. 4 of 2022, emphasizes safeguarding the financial integrity of the sector, and they do that by enforcing responsible behavior and compliance with global standards. So let me go and touch base on the key compliance obligations of virtual asset service providers, guys, because virtual asset service providers are required to adopt and enhance the compliance practices in the following areas. The first one is anti-money laundering and CFT compliance, and virtual asset service providers must strictly follow the National Anti-Money Laundering and Combating Finance of Terrorism Committee regulations and regular reviews and verification of lists issued by the Financial Action Task Force, and national authorities must be conducted, and virtual asset service providers are instructed to implement enhanced due diligence protocols, and this is for transactions involving high-risk jurisdictions, and this includes reviewing customer profiles, identifying and mitigating potential risks, monitoring for suspicious activities, and countermeasures must be proportionate to identified risk. For example, guys, there has to be increased scrutiny of transactions originating or related to these jurisdictions, as well as restricting or even blocking transactions with certain countries if necessary. Now look, so far as tokenization is concerned, this is a massive area where this regulation kicks in, isn't it? Because I've been saying this over and over again, guys. Let's say if you have a token that is connected to real-world assets, what happens if you go out and resell it on the secondary market, and if that particular person is from a sanctioned countries? In that case, the token is next to impossible to sell, isn't it? And does this actually follow the ethos of open blockchain? I definitely don't think so. So these are questions you need to be thinking about when you're talking about real-world asset tokenization. Now going back to AML and CFT compliance, guys, there is a section which talks about updating risk management frameworks, and risk controls and due diligence protocols must be regularly updated to reflect changes in FATF's list and recommendations, and this ensures that virtual asset service providers are agile in adapting to evolving threats. And regarding focus on high-risk jurisdiction, guys, the circular emphasizes two critical FATF lists. The first one is call for action countries, and the second one is jurisdictions under increased monitoring. Now regarding call for action countries, guys, these jurisdictions are under heightened scrutiny and require immediate and stringent countermeasures to prevent financial crimes. And regarding the second point, that is jurisdictions under increased monitoring, these countries require virtual asset service providers to apply additional due diligence measures, although risk might not be as severe as those fitting in the first category. And some of the examples of countermeasures include enhanced reporting obligations for transactions involving these jurisdictions, requiring additional customer information for due diligence, and limiting or suspending business relationship with entities from these countries. Now look, as these regulations are definitely very stringent, and when you talk about real-world asset tokenization, guys, these are things you definitely need to take very seriously, isn't it? Now the document, guys, also talks about resources and regulatory support, and to assist virtual asset service providers, the circular includes links to official FATF list and national resources for high-risk jurisdiction, and the guidelines was actually issued on 7th of February 2023, including rulebooks and compliance and risk management that all virtual asset service providers must adhere to. Now the big question, guys, is why does this matter for virtual asset service providers? Now look, by enforcing this framework, guys, VARA is aligning the best practices with global best standards, making the virtual asset ecosystem safer and more credible, and they are ensuring that virtual asset service providers mitigate risks related to financial crimes effectively, and more importantly, protecting the sector from reputational damage that could arise from non-compliance with AML and CFT obligations. And for virtual asset service providers who are non-compliant to this, could actually lead to loss of licenses, regulatory penalties, reputational harm that affects the partnership and customer trust. Now look, so far as these regulations are concerned, they're definitely needed for a centralized entity, isn't it? But so far as open blockchain is concerned, and for the underlying technology, I really am not sure what to make of it. Maybe this is an area foundations and associations should definitely take a deep dive into. Now the final point I want to touch base is regarding the broader implications for the industry because of this news. Because look, this circular is part of the broader trend in virtual asset industry, where regulators are stepping up to address risk posed by decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies, isn't it? And it's so important to build trust in the system. And one way to do that is by ensuring that these service providers prioritize security and compliance, thereby preventing misuse of digital currencies in illegal activities such as money laundering and terrorism financing. And Dubai's approach, guys, reflects a balanced strategy encouraging innovation in virtual assets while at the same time enforcing the necessary safeguards to a landed global financial system. So look guys, the only thing I can say is that this particular circular is a critical piece of Dubai's regulatory framework, signaling its commitment to fostering a secure and responsible virtual asset ecosystem, and by requiring strict adherence to AML and CFTC guidelines, as well as regular monitoring of FATF-listed jurisdictions, along with robust risk management. VARA is positioning Dubai as a leader in compliant crypto services globally. So let me know guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? But look guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is definitely go ahead and go through this document, particularly if you're offering services in the virtual asset space. Definitely critical piece of information in my opinion. Now guys, let's go and discuss next news all the way from down under. And Bitcoin apparently has no role in Australian economy, and this was actually said by the Reserve Bank of Australian Governor, that is Michelle Bullock, and she was actually speaking at the Australian Security and Investment Commission annual forum that did actually take place last Thursday, and she actually pushed back the suggestion that Bitcoin was an alternative currency. Now here's the interesting bit guys, she also openly said that she does not understand it. So what I really recommend you to do is guys, in the show notes below there is an official link by the Australian media department. Definitely go through it. Now look guys, so far as Australia is concerned, Bitcoin adoption in Australia remains really low, with only 2% of Australians using the payment and 11% holding it as an asset. Now critics like ASIC's Joe Long has dismissed his recently rally as speculative, while future fund CEO, that is Raphael, Arendt, has questioned Bitcoin's utility as a strategic reserve for nations controlling fiat currencies. So it's going to be really interesting to see guys if Australia does actually go ahead and change their stance regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now guys, let me go ahead and very briefly touch base on some news regarding Solana blockchain. And as I mentioned earlier guys, the numbers are definitely off the roof, isn't it? And Solana based dApps guys have had record fee earnings amid the renewed meme coin hype. And Radium, as I mentioned earlier guys, the numbers are definitely off the chart, isn't it? And regarding the fees guys, they have received $11.31 million in fees, followed by Jito with $9.87 million, and the trading bot, that is Photon, they have accumulated a fee of $2.36 million. Now we know the native token Sol has definitely surged to new all-time high as well, isn't it? And this is driven by speculation about it listing with Doc with that on Coinbase. And even if you look at Solana's market cap guys, it has overtaken Binance BNB chain by almost $30 billion. Now regarding the earning of the fees guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is if you go to DeFiLlama.com, there is a section towards the left where you can sort things ranking by fees and revenues. And check this out guys, if you look at Tether USDT's fees, they have made $13.37 million. But if you look at Radium as a decentralized app, they have made a record-breaking fee of $11.79 million. And if you look at Solana blockchain, they have made a record fee of $8.06 million. So the numbers are absolutely crazy, isn't it? Now one of the biggest anomaly I'm looking at guys is, if you look at the fees for 30 days, Tether USDT fee stands at $401.01 million, whereas Radium for 30 days is $138.19 million. But if you were to compare the numbers, let's say for Tether and Radium for 7 days, Tether's fee shows as $93.57 million, but Radium is pumped up to $69.07 million. So really interesting matrix, isn't it? So listen guys, do one thing, go to DeFiLlama.com, and there are loads of information updated on this. Now guys, let's go and discuss some news regarding World Liberty Finance Token. And the DeFi project guys has partnered with Chainlink to integrate Ethereum price fees, and this will be done for real-time on-chain market data. And the ticker symbol for World Liberty token guys is WLFI, and it is built on Ethereum, and they're planning to use Aave version 3. And this particular token guys aims to offer crypto borrowing, lending and liquidity services. And the project right now is also in discussion to go ahead and launch a native stablecoin as well. Now look guys, them integrating with Chainlink is definitely a massive deal, and Chainlink's co-founder, that is Sergey Nazarov, has also praised World Liberty Finance Token's focus on security, and President Donald Trump's son, that is Eric Trump, has called the partnership a milestone for crypto and DeFi protocol. So it's going to be really interesting to see guys what the future of World Liberty Finance Token is. Now look, as me personally, I'm definitely a huge fan of President Donald Trump, but it's really important to understand that this particular token, that is World Liberty Finance Token, is nowhere connected to President Donald Trump as such. Rather, they're just utilizing the Trump family name, because right now after his re-election, the brand name is probably one of the biggest in the world, isn't it? but rather it is his son, that is Eric Trump, who is beyond world about the financial token. And regarding Bitcoin, an event that is taking place in December, Eric Trump will be the headlining speaker as well. So definitely great things coming out for the Trump family, and rightly so as well. So these were the newscasts from the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first newscast is regarding Dubai Police, and this is done in partnership with Kotra, and they hosted the Global Export Tech Week that did actually take place between the 11th and 14th of November, and this was done at the Dubai Police Headquarters Research and Development Center. Now the event cast focused on collaboration in AI surveillance, deepfake detection, autonomous driving, cybersecurity and smart policing, and it was part of UAE's plan to rank among the world's top 3 AI powerhouses, and this aligns with Dubai's AI strategy that was announced in April of this year, and 19 Korean companies, guys, including Nota AI, Tech Tree Innovation, A-List and Yo-Yo Interactive participated in the event. These companies showcased their technological through consultation, field presentations, pitching sessions and brainstorming competition, and the event was built on previous year's collaboration between Dubai Police and MIT Research Center in the United States of America. Now, the Dubai Police directly invited Korean firms for their expertise in AI, autonomous driving and ITS technologies, and Kotra's Dubai Trade Center supported the event to boost Korean companies' entry into the Middle Eastern market, and Park Dong-Bok, who is the head of Kotra's Middle East region headquarters, highlighted the event's potential to strengthen UAE-Korean ICT partnership, and the Dubai Police also demonstrated the smart policing initiatives, including a pilot smart police station in Amna, which is an AI-based virtual officer, and Amna guys provided AI-driven basic reporting as well as consultation services as part of Dubai's tech-forward policing efforts, and the event underscores Dubai's dedication to integrating advanced tech into public safety and law enforcement operations as well, and a memorandum of understanding was signed between Kotra's Dubai Trade Center and Dubai Police, and the memorandum of understanding, guys, aim to facilitate research, development and investment collaboration between Korean companies and the UAE institutions, and Dubai Police sought to advance their smart policing capabilities by leveraging partnership with Korean tech firms as well, and the event, guys, marked a milestone in deepening UAE-Korean technology cooperation and fostering innovation in AI and ITS, and Korean companies gained valuable exposure to Middle Eastern markets and strengthened ties in UAE stakeholders as well, and this initiative highlighted Dubai's commitment to becoming a global leader in AI and smart policing solutions as well. So definitely great partnership in my opinion. Now the second newscast I'm going to be talking about is more connected to ISO certification, and Visible Without an E is an AI-driven compliance platform, and they launched to simplify and accelerate ISO certification process, and the platform, guys, combines advanced AI automation with expert human oversight, and they are tagging it as human in the loop, and Visible reduces time to achieve ISO certification by up to 90%, and they're doing that using intuitive dashboard and automated workflows, and AI agents can handle tasks like document generation and audit preparation, thereby reducing manual workload, and continuous audit readiness ensures compliance throughout the year for business for all sizes, and this particular launch aligns with upcoming ISO 9001 or 9001 revisions, addressing supply chain management, sustainability and risk management too, and over 23,000 businesses in UAE and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia holding ISO certification will benefit from adapting to the new standards, and Visible Guys enables businesses to remain compliant with emerging standards seamlessly and stress-free, and the co-founder that Astor will build has emphasized Visible's focus on future-proofing compliance process, and the platform eliminates last-minute audit preparations, thereby promoting year-round compliance and peace of mind, and expert human oversight ensures accuracy, trust and adherence to ISO standards for all documentation, and the co-founder, that is Sean Hurley, highlighted Visible's unique blend of AI automation and expert review. And based on the news, it looks like it is designed for SMEs and large enterprises as well as in it, and the platform also offers scalable and cost-effective solutions, and it is built on Google Cloud using advanced technologies like generative AI and Gemini Flash, and that is used for security and performance. And microservice architecture supports continuous updates with operational disruption, and scalable feature allows business to adapt to new standards and enter new market easily. And Visible Guys is currently based in Dubai AI campus at the IFC, which is part of region's AI-focused cluster SNET, and the platform aligns with Dubai's vision to lead global technology and AI innovation across industries. So definitely positive news. So these were the newscasts on the cryptocurrency, blockchain and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Sarah who asks, with Solana's resurgence, can it reclaim its position as the Ethereum competitor, or is this rally speculative? Now, me personally, I definitely think it is more speculative than the actual use cases, because look, the numbers in Solana blockchain definitely does not seem to be making a lot of sense. And when you talk about open blockchain protocol as such, Sarah, it is so important that we truly understand the whole blockchain trilemma problem. Now, granted, the numbers are absolutely great, but based on my understanding, Solana is definitely compromising on centralization. Now, I'm not saying that this is an entirely centralized project or protocol, but in comparison to, let's say, Ethereum or even Bitcoin for that matter, Solana definitely seems to be relatively centralized, because when you talk about its mining procedure as such, it used to be extremely expensive to be part of the Solana ecosystem. Now, really, I'm not sure how the governance token is distributed, but look, I wouldn't be surprised if the early adopters and founders, they are the ones who have a lot of access to governance tokens. And based on my experience, when you talk about governance tokens, it is just another way of rebranding centralization, isn't it? But look, even in the last quarter of 2023, Solana's numbers were definitely picking up pace. And earlier this year, I very specifically remember, Solana on many occasions did actually overtake Binance BNB chain as well. But to answer your question, can it reclaim its position as Ethereum competitor? I highly doubt it, to be honest, because I'm not seeing any genuine use cases at least now being built on Solana as such. Personally, I don't see any decentralized app that is working on Ethereum as well. And I keep saying this over and over again. The whole purpose of Ethereum, Solana, or so-called smart contracting platform is for apps such as, let's say, Tinder, Instagram, LinkedIn to be working on these projects and protocols, isn't it? And at the early times of Ethereum, there were also talks about making the entire World Wide Web in the decentralized protocol as well. When will that thing happen? I really am not sure. Now, regarding Solana's surge, the numbers are definitely looking great, but this again goes back to 2022 if I'm not mistaken, where the total value locked of Solana had definitely pumped up, only to find out that there were double entry, triple entry, quadruple entry done by the Solana team. And based on the numbers, I really am not content, particularly with what is going on in Radium. I did try to do more research, but it is still a red flag according to me. But look, Sarah, if you or any of the other listeners do have any additional information regarding the numbers, particularly to do with Radium, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. But to answer your question, no, I don't think it can reclaim its position as Ethereum competitor, because in the past there have been so many Ethereum killers, and one by one they eventually tend to die down as well. Binance BNB chain, despite the numbers being bad since the last 3 months, they definitely could actually compete with Ethereum as such. But Solana, me personally, I don't think so. But look, Sarah, the cryptocurrency world is absolutely wild and crazy, isn't it? You never know, absolutely anything is possible as well. So those are my honest thoughts. And that's about all, guys. I'm the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other 2 news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.